Alright, grab your lattes, grab your coffees, whatever you're drinking. Sit down. Welcome to the coffee shop. It's your host, Jobbers and Goons. Make sure to check out the main channel and run the likes up because we are bringing a crazy battle today. Two powerhouse villains from different universes. We have Sosuke Aizen from Bleach versus Emperor Palpatine from Legends / EU version of Star Wars. So I'll be using his stronger feats. This is going to be an amazing battle. What I'm going to do, due to the different comments I've gotten from people, I feel like, first of all, on the coffee shop, run the likes up. Let's try to hit like 150. I'm going to do an in-depth on Aizen because I've already done one on Sidious. And then I also, just for this video, basically I'm going to address the winning arguments for all sides. And at the end, I'll just give my opinion on which arguments I favor the most. I hope you guys enjoy. This is an amazing battle to talk about, and without further ado, let's begin. So let's talk about win conditions for Emperor Sidious, alright? Like, how would he win? What would the argument be? First would just be arguing he has straight up higher stats like AP. How would you go about that? Well, one, Sidious is compared directly in Legends, EU, Dark Empire era to characters like the Sithari. Sithari are comparable to beings of a cosmic origin like the sun. These beings are cosmic representations of the Force, which is a concept that envelops everything from time, space, dimensions, emotions, archetypes, while also transcending it, as stated in Star Wars lore. And because of this, Sidious would have possibly hyperversal to outer scaling. However, that's like really high end to try to go for. But when he did return in Dark Empire, instantly like shook the universe, folded Luke upon instantly meeting him, basically. It's pretty bad. Also, he should scale above a being who was stated to be able to like threaten the universe. It got dropped off in his section and he didn't care. Apparently, he thugged the Yuuzhan Vong gods, which you'll hear about in my Goon video for him coming up soon on my main channel. These beings scale above regular Vong, who could literally fight post-Dark Empire Luke. So yeah, he has plus he can create force storms, which can like throw around and disrupt hyperspaces, completely fold space-time, all that. He also survived the Void, where it stated even identity no longer exists, but he was too strong and resisted, came back anyway. Yeah, you could argue for him raw AP and try to go that route. Next, for him, Force Storms, just briefly mention them. These are a bitch to deal with. Luke had basically no answer for them when they were used against him, and you know how strong Luke is. I mean, he was stated in Legends and EU to at least be comparable in power to Vader when he fought him in Return of the Jedi, and he got vastly more powerful after that. Still had no answer for the Force Storm. I mean, it's a complete violation of space and time itself, and is a forbidden technique to the universe. However, you know, Sidious is a goon. He's going to learn it anyway. And so this ability, it can either be used as an offensive attack, like literally just destroy him, or like fold a hyperspace on him basically, or throw him away like BFR. So that's something you could argue for Sidious. Like it would just be too much and too powerful if you use it in an offensive manner. The final argument that would be made in this case for Sidious would be, it would have to do with like will, presence, and essence transfer type hacks. So essentially, the argument would be made that Sidious' ability to overcome people with his sheer power and presence as a, someone that's stated in Legends by the time of Dark Empire to potentially be like the next Sithari, or the Sithari of Legend. He's strong enough to just cripple Aizen if they encounter each other, overcome his will, and break him, and even if he gets like injured, transfer his soul potentially into Aizen's body, overcome his. That would be the argument made for that end, and that would also kind of be tied into arguing that Sidious has stronger AP and would overwhelm But yeah, those are like the three biggest cases on Sidious side, with stuff like raw, AP, and stats, Force Storm, and Will and Essence Transfer hacks. Now let's look at the case for Aizen. What would Aizen's three, big win cons be? First is probably obvious to anyone that knows anything about Aizen, his illusions. Would they be capable of working on Sidious? The argument for the win con would be that Aizen has shown significant enough feats with illusions, and Sidious has shown enough anti-feats that such a thing is entirely possible. So some of the feats for Aizen would include, of course, mind hacking all of the captains, making them fight, even kill the wrong person. He can even mind hacks you, and his effects will work on you instantly if you just see him. And another thing that makes it ridiculous is his mind hacks and illusions worked on Yuha. Yuha is able to literally see infinite futures, like all the possible futures, timelines, all that. Could not see through the illusion induced by Aizen. So the argument here would be that his illusions work. Funny enough, the next argument for Aizen would actually be similar to Sidious in that you would argue for AP. This would come from certain feats that happen throughout the manga, as well as guidebooks and light novels. So you could argue, especially after he unlocks the immeasurable boundless power of the Gyoku, he also, with the Gyoku, I might be fucking up the name, I always do that, y'all know the vibes. He's able to do plenty of things, include what he says go beyond logic or reason. He demonstrated this by destroying a being that governs time and space. And he did so pretty casually, as well as he was able to pretty easily fire through the Dangai, which has multiple time spaces. As well as he said, his power was outright transcendental. And his spiritual pressure could shoot down the Soul King's Palace, which is supposed to be a whole nother dimension. It's a whole lot of things he does that's absolutely insane. And yeah, you would argue that his AP, which would be beyond something that governs time and space and is stated to go beyond logic and reason, he would scale high enough to overwhelm Sidious. Now, finally, we've explored Soigetsu, we've explored this. Let's explore the final argument for Aizen. What would that be? This would basically be Hado spam. So, a lot of the both normal Hados and the forbidden techniques are insane. Some of the normal Hados, like I think 79, can produce multiple black holes, which Aizen casually was stated to be able to flex off. Other things had to be applied to him to stop him. Also has access to Hados that can fill up hyperspaces instantly with flames and burn them, which is absolutely insane. This was showcased in a light novel with Kenpachi. We also see that there's some Hado and forbidden techniques that are stated to have unimaginable power, which would be in comparison to, again, abilities that have to do with things like black holes. And it's unimaginable and immeasurable in comparison to that, which is absolutely nuts. So you would argue the ceiling Hados, the destructive Hados, the Hados that he was casually able to use that like Shunsui didn't even want captains around. He was afraid they'd die passively from it. He has access to all those things, and you could argue with Hado spam, which he could easily do, Sidious would be in for a long day. So, if you look at the win cons for both sides, which side do I personally side with? First of all, let me know in the comment section which win cons you favor. But on my end, as you guys know, I'm a big Star Wars guy. I haven't done as much Bleach, but I've read a lot for Bleach, especially on Aizen and stuff, because he was really interesting to me. That meant going through light novels, going through all the material. Shout out to Magna for helping me as well find all the original sources and find the translations. All this shit put together makes a very compelling argument for Aizen, in my opinion. I scale Bleach higher than most people. Chuck's one of my best friends, but I've told him I disagree I think he kind of lowballs Bleach. I think a lot of people do. I think if you read the accumulation of what's provided on characters at the high ends like Aizen, as well as light novels and the guidebooks, they are absolutely busted. And as a result, I slightly favor Aizen in this situation. I do believe Soigetsu would work on Sidious. We've even seen characters with better mind hacks, like Luke post Dark Empire, fall victim to mind hacks and illusions. So something as subtle and powerful as Soigetsu would, in my opinion, work on Sidious. After that, Aizen would be able to put him down, but the question is, could he permanently keep him down? I think Sidious would come back. I don't think he'd be able to take over the body of Aizen, but I do think he'd come back. So if you guys want to see a narrative version of this, where I like write out the story of how I think a writer would portray these two characters against each other instead of just feats and statements and all that, let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know with the like button. But anyway, in my opinion, I believe Aizen would win. Thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons. This is The Coffee Shop. I'll have more content for you soon, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.